This is Goku-san, DBZ, and today I'm counting down my personal picks for, in my view, the 10 best games from the company Capcom. In our Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, I thought it'd be time to mention some of my personal favorite Capcom games of all time, and I put together a little playlist of some music from various games from different years. First, Megaman X, music-wise. Honorable mentions first. Kind of reminds you of Devil May Cry series. It's actually rather enjoyable. It's called Chaos Legion. Released exclusively for the PlayStation 2. It's a good game if you ever get a chance to try it out. Next up, Street Fighter 03, which just so happens to, of course, be Street Fighter Alpha 3, just Japanese import version. In Japan, they call Alpha Series 0. Not sure why, but next honorable mention, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, which is, of course, an awesome game. Done some gameplays, and eventually I may do more. We shall see. Next up, honorable mention, technically, is a trilogy. The Devil May Cry trilogy. A great series, nevertheless. Whether you prefer the first one, the second one, or the third one. Either way, it's a solid game trilogy, and it's often still considered very fondly by many people. Next honorable mention, a lot of people would probably have this in their top 10. And you hear in the background Resident Evil 2 music playing. Honorable mention, Resident Evil 4. For multiple consoles. Last honorable mention, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Already the gameplay, the game mechanics and stuff already has it as an honorable mention for me. Eventually, I would not be surprised if this actually enters my top 10 favorite Capcom games of all time list. Eventually. We shall see, but for now, coming in at number 10, was released on the PlayStation as Darkstalkers 3. But, of course, if you want to get the true version for the Sega Saturn, it's known as Vampire Savior. Comes in at number 10 on the list. Awesome game. Great in-game mechanics and everything. This is the original box, where you also get the old cartridge you would need in order to play the game. Coming in at number 9. Also, for the Sega Saturn, the best version anyways. Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter. Comes in number 9 as favorite Capcom game. Coming in at number 8. For the Super Nintendo, Megaman X. An awesome, epic game to say the least. And to this day, I regard it very highly as the best Mega Man platformer of all time, in my view. Coming in at number 7. Originally, though you had branch-offs released later on for the PS2, the GameCube, I still prefer the original version of Resident Evil Code Veronica. Known as Veronica X on everything else. By my view, this is hands down easily the most underrated game in the franchise as a whole. This game is incredible, and it's my second favorite in the Resident Evil franchise, or Biohazard for those in Japan. Next, coming in at number 6, released on the PlayStation as well as the N64, Megaman Legends, which is, of course, the best of any of the RPG Mega Man games out there. And I regard it, of course, obviously, as my number 2 favorite Mega Man game of all time. So yeah, it remains very highly regarded for me. Of course, released in 1998. I don't have the N64 version, I just have the PlayStation version. But in my view, it's a great game, and you ever get a chance to play Mega Man Legends, which I believe you can now get on, of course, the PSN. So you ever get a chance, get it. Check it out. It's more than worth your time. Coming in at number 5. Capcom vs. SNK 2 EO. Though this would also get a release, of course, on GameCube as well as on PS2. I still regard this as the best port of the American version. Hands down. The best version, at least, of American ports. If you want to go with less glitch issues and stuff, original Xbox is the way to go. Coming in at number 4. Though my personal favorite version is obviously the Dreamcast version. This is the one I have the full case of. And yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 comes in 4th place. And is my favorite of course, the crossover games series. And I still regard very highly, obviously, being my 4th favorite Capcom game of all time, as a whole from the company. Capcom is still currently ranked probably my 2nd favorite game company of all time, second only to Square Enix. And next, I'm going to play a little music for you to enjoy. This. A music collection from multiple games. And coming in at number 3. Released on multiple platforms, including the PlayStation, but the best version is either if you can get it for the Sega Saturn or the PlayStation. Street Fighter Alpha 2. Or, of course, Street Fighter Zero 2 in Japan. Hands down my favorite of all the Alpha games, and is my 2nd favorite Street Fighter game of all time. Coming in at number 2. Favorite game from the franchise as a whole. This is also probably my 2nd... Actually, no, it's probably like my 3rd favorite original PlayStation game of all time. But my 2nd favorite Capcom game of all time. Resident Evil 2. For the original PlayStation. Easily an incredible game. And if you've never actually played Resident Evil 2, seriously, try it out if you ever get a chance. It's a really fun game. And you can't beat the soundtrack. The music is superb on this game. The game itself is fun. Love the story. I love the police station. That's always been my favorite backdrop place in the game as a whole. Now, coming in last. Coming in at number 1. Released in 1991 for the Super Nintendo. This would be an improved version on Street Fighter II, The World Warrior. And that is Street Fighter II Turbo. I regard it as the greatest Street Fighter game of all time, in my view the best fighting game of all time, and the best Capcom game of all time. That is my personal view. This is by far the best of the 8 versions of Street Fighter II there are now out there. Yep, Ultra Street Fighter 4 is the 8th version of the game, but I still think this is the best version. Especially if you're looking to play on a classic, what they call retro console nowadays. This is the way to go. There is no better version. Super Street Fighter 2 is slowed down, and Though there may be a lot of things that are superior in Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, that's only if you have a 3DO or something. Good luck with that. Only a small handful have that game, myself included. But with that said, this is #1 favorite Capcom game of all time, and I'll see you all next time. Same YouTube time, same YouTube channel for an upcoming comic book review finally getting to today. Issue 1 of Killer Instinct, and I'll see you all next time. Enjoy the music from Street Fighter 3.